So first question for you, do you believe there's a problem between black and whites in America, generally speaking?
Sadly, there would seem to be, and it's getting more and more obvious, and it's very sad. It's very sad when somebody called for a moment of silence for this maniac that shot the 5 police, and you know, you just see what's going on, and it's a very, very sad situation.
One of the most divisive disparities is only skin deep. This is the economy in black and white. Everything you own, houses, stocks, cars, that's your wealth. In 2011, the wealth of the median white household was over $110,000. African Americans on average, 17 times less, just over $6,000.
No matter how much money you have, no matter how famous you are, no matter how many people admire you, you know, being black in America is tough, and we got a long way to go.
The black tie, white people all laughing nervously at the joke.
They did laugh
Which gets exactly to the heart of this problem here, is we are so uncomfortable when we talk about race, and that we are happy when someone goes so far over the pale, when someone is so ridiculous, that we can all agree that it's offensive, that we can all agree that he's racist. Otherwise, we don't use the word racist.
But the only other folks we're seeing in the media are either folks who are sort of superstars on the one hand, or criminals on the other hand. Those are the black folks we typically see on TV. They're either like mega millionaire athletes or entertainers, or they're the folks doing a perp walk on the 6 o'clock news that the cops have just gone arrested and haven't even let them put a shirt on before cuffing them and bringing them out in front of the cameras. If the only people you see regularly are superstar millionaires and thugs, for the average person, they can't relate to either of those, right? The average person of color can't, and the average white person can't either. The superstar, you're likely to envy their position, and the thug you're afraid of. And envy and fear are not particularly good human emotions upon which to base some personal connections or intimate relationships.
His name is Michael. He's an 18-year-old kid who doesn't quite know what he's going to do with his life. He loves to dance, go on random adventures, and play ping pong with his friends. He treats people with kindness and does his best to make everyone feel important. His dream is to someday change the world. Little does he know that because of the color of his skin, he will not have the same privileges that those who have lighter skin will have. The odds are against him. He doesn't know that African Americans with degrees are twice as likely to be unemployed. He doesn't know that when he gets older, he will be shown 18% fewer homes than white people when trying to buy a house. He doesn't know that he is 30% more likely to be pulled over by the police while driving. He doesn't know that if he gets injured, 67% of doctors have a bias against African American patients. He doesn't know that African American men are 6 times as likely to be incarcerated than white men. And he doesn't know that he's going to have to work harder and put in twice the effort than a white man to achieve the exact same opportunities. This Michael is me. Sadly, it is only a matter of time before I experience the challenges I will have to overcome because I am African American. As sad as it is, this is reality. This is the world that I live in. No, this is the world that we live in. Self-representation is important for African Americans who live on the margins of this dominative society because it is the gateway to taking a stand against the injustice that we as African Americans will experience throughout our lives. This is wrong, and it needs to change. But it doesn't start without raising that awareness and showing people what it feels like to be discriminated against. Have an open mind and try to understand. Put yourself in my shoes. Imagine if the people you identified with were being discriminated against. Wouldn't you do something about it and do anything you could to raise awareness to the dominative society on what was truly happening? Slowly we're starting to take a stand and raise this awareness, but it's not easy. There's still much more work that needs to be done and many more steps that need to be taken. One day, I hope to live in a world where the color of my skin does not make me worry about my future. But until that day comes, I will continue to fight for what is right.